Good evening, everybody. It's Thursday, a little bit later in the day than I normally come online. Hey, Bruno, how's it going, brother? Today's topic's going to be: do you have a Randy in your life? Are you holding onto your friendship, feeling like you owe them? I know I've had actually a couple different Randys in my life. I've had many more people named many other names in my life that, I felt like I owed them. Back when we were kids, some of them were friendships from when I was a kid, going into young adulthood, even into older adulthood. And, what do I mean by you feel like you owe them? Well, they did one kind thing for you. Maybe they did something that really made a difference in your life. And then for the rest of your friendship, they make you feel like you owe them. Sometimes it's direct bluntness where they bring up the fact that you owe them. Oh, you need to do this for me because remember when I did this for you that one time? And I got so tired of hearing that. Hey, Zachary. And, you don't owe people anything. If somebody does something kind for you, there shouldn't be a hidden agenda behind what they do for you. And for some people, they have a little tally board and they're going, tick, I did that for him. Tick, I did that for her. Tick, I did for that for both of them. And then every time they need some help, they come to you and they'll either do it indirectly or they'll be very blunt about it and say, well, you know what? Look what I've done for you in your life. You owe me. Whether it's indirect or direct, it happens. And I happen to have a friend named Randy, a couple different Randys. And that Randy, him and I were friends well back into the mid 80s, late 80s, somewhere around there. And I did lots of things for Randy. But I was never raised to do things for people expecting something in return. You're helping that person out. You're being kind. So why are you expecting anything, right? And that's the way I was raised. So I did lots of things for him when I first met him. He was a single guy living in our hometown, not where I live now, but living in our hometown, had no family there. Got him close to our family, invited him over for meals, helped him out when he was financially strapped. And the list goes on of the things that I did for him. Never once having any expectations. Fast forward to 1998. And in 1998, I separated from my then wife. And I had nowhere to stay. And he offered to let me stay in his house with his wife, living in the basement. I rented a small little bedroom in the basement. Stayed there for 5 months. Really appreciated him doing that. I paid him rent. Stayed out of his hair, stayed out of his way. But fast forward to years later, every time something bad happened in his life or he needed a hand with something, he would communicate with me. And if I give him any resistance, I heard about the time that he let me live with him, helped me out, did that massive favor. One favor for the list, hi Aunt Elsie, and the long list of behaviors that I had done for him were probably this long. And he did that one favor for me. Does that mean that he didn't help me out the odd time in life and take me, like, hey, come on over, help me move this piece of furniture? I think we've all done that for people. So I don't mean that kind of favor. The general things that we do for one another, for family, for friends. But that person that, you do one thing for, they do one thing for you, and then they figure you owe them the rest of their lives. Well, guess what? That wore very thin. So for a very long time, I let him manipulate, make me feel bad. And I used to justify to people that would tell me, you know what? You need to get rid of that guy out of your life. He's causing you a bunch of grief. He's using you. And I'd always justify, well, when I was down and out and I was separated, getting divorced, and needed a place to live for a few months, he let me stay there. Well, it also helped and benefited him at the time. I was paying rent. It helped him pay part of his mortgage. Yes, he was doing me a solid, but I had done many other solids for him as well, like I said, over the years. And then after that fact, for the next 12 years, I lent him money. He'd call me up and he'd be broke and I'd feel guilty because of that one moment in time that he had given me a hand up, right? And then the little comments he'd make, or even sometimes bluntly saying, well, I did this for you. Good thing I helped you out. I was there for you. And for a 12-year period, I lent him money. I helped him out in other ways too, with his business, and give him work and send him referrals, even though he become really inconsistent in the level of work that he did. Hey, Kyle. So the level of work that he did was substandard, and I put my reputation, my integrity on the line because of that one big thing that he did for me, letting me live with him for a few months. And I continued to refer him to people, and these people would start to call me and say, you know what? Where's your buddy? He hasn't showed up. Where's Randy? Right? Where is he? Or, oh, we booked him weeks ago and he's canceled numerous times. He did that to my parents. He did that to other people. It was horrible, the circumstances and things that we allow somebody that does a favor for us to control us. So for 12 years, I allowed this to happen. Fast forward to the fact in 2000 and approximately 10, he fell on hard times again, and I was trying to help him out. I give him some work to do, and he needed cash. I paid him probably more than he deserved. Actually, I know I did. And he basically kept on coming into this business that I started up, which was a pub at that time, and would bring in his new girlfriend because now he was separated and getting a divorce, and he'd want booze and food and expected that it would be okay. Well, that started growing thin after a couple weeks. So I said to him one day when he called up and said, hey, I'm bringing the girlfriend and her daughter over. I want for some drinks and food. And I said, well, you know what? You can come over, but you're not going to be taking advantage of me, brother. Like, I have bills to pay. This is a brand new business. And he came to that business, a friend of mine at that time, for 23 years, and he threatened me and took a swing at me over the bar countertop in this pub restaurant that I owned, and said that, oh, after all the things I've done for you, etc., etc. Can you imagine? So how do you get rid of people like that? You basically, your threshold of pain goes way up to here, and you eventually have enough. And in my life, when people push me too far, now it's really quick. Back then, it took a long time, and I never spoke to him after the fact, except for I ran into him at a couple different funerals, and I was polite. But I hope you don't have a Randy in your life. I hope you aren't letting somebody take advantage of you financially, emotionally, maybe even physically, or all of them, just because they did a favor for you, even a couple favors. Life isn't about having an expectation of owing somebody anything if they do you a favor or you do them a favor. You should do it out of the goodness and kindness of your heart. You should be doing it out of service to others, like God all intended us to do. Hey, Gord. So bottom line, for all those of you that are just coming online, hey, John, I hope you watch this live back and ask yourself, do I have a Randy in my life? Do I think I owe them for the rest of my life? You don't. You don't owe them nothing except to be kind back, because when you give to others, it should be selfless, pardon me, and it should be out of the goodness of your heart. So I hope you're all having a great Thursday. I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow. DM me, please drop me a comment. Like my stuff if you enjoy it. Share it with others. I appreciate all of you and all your support, some of the great messages I've been getting. God bless you all. Happy Easter. Peace out. It's been fantastic talking to you. Remember, get rid of that Randy in your life. God bless you all.